The unspoken language of attraction is often louder than the most passionate declarations, particularly when a man begins to fall deeply for you. Long before he finds the courage to articulate his feelings, his subconscious mind shifts into a primal, ancient mode of behavior, the role of the protector. This transition doesn't manifest in dramatic, cinematic displays of aggression or overbearing possessiveness. Instead, it weaves itself seamlessly into the mundane fabric of daily life through quiet, almost imperceptible habits. It is found in the subtle recalibration of his posture, the instinctive routing of his gaze, and the silent logistics he manages behind the scenes just to ensure your world is a fraction more comfortable and secure. This deeply rooted protective instinct is governed by evolutionary psychology and emotional alignment. When a man invests his heart in you, your safety, dignity, and emotional peace become inextricably linked to his own well-being. He begins to act as a physical and emotional buffer between you and the chaotic friction of the outside world, reacting to potential stresses before your own conscious mind can even register them. The beauty of these gestures lies entirely in their lack of calculation. He isn't performing for your approval or keeping score of his chivalry. In fact, if you were to point out these actions, he would likely shrug them off, completely unaware that his nervous system has quietly assumed responsibility for your preservation. Recognizing these 15 hidden microsignals allows you to peer past his casual exterior and see the profound, unyielding dedication forming beneath the surface, revealing a bond that is growing fiercely protective, deeply committed, and beautifully permanent. 1. The subtle street-side shift. It is one of the oldest, most instinctive gestures a man can make, often happening entirely on autopilot. When you are walking down a sidewalk together, he will smoothly and seamlessly switch sides with you so that he is walking closest to the traffic. He does not stop the conversation or make a grand theatrical display of it. He simply drifts into the outer lane. This behavioral shift stems from an innate desire to create a physical buffer between you and potential hazards, like passing cars, splashing puddles, or unpredictable pedestrians. Even if the modern world is relatively safe, his subconscious mind is actively assessing the environment and positioning his own body as a shield. You might not even notice it happening at first, but this quiet reallocation of space speaks volumes about how deeply he values your safety and well-being. 2. Scanning the room when you enter together. The moment the two of you cross the threshold into a crowded restaurant, a loud bar, or an unfamiliar social gathering, his demeanor undergoes a subtle transformation. Before he even looks for a place to sit or orders a drink, his eyes will casually but deliberately scan the entire room. He is checking the exits, noting the layout, and subconsciously assessing the vibe of the crowd to ensure there are no immediate threats or uncomfortable situations. This behavior is not driven by paranoia, but rather by a quiet, watchful instinct to understand the terrain you are both stepping into. He wants to guarantee that the environment is secure and hospitable for you. Once he establishes that everything is perfectly fine, he relaxes entirely, shifting his focus back to you, confident that he has successfully scoped out the surroundings. 3. The unconscious hand on the small of your back in crowds. When navigating through a dense, chaotic crowd or a tightly packed venue, his hand will instinctively find its way to the small of your back. This gesture is entirely distinct from a public display of affection or an act of possessiveness. Instead, it serves as a gentle, grounding anchor designed to keep you from getting separated, bumped, or jostled by the surrounding sea of people. It is his way of non-verbally communicating that he is right there with you, steering you safely through the commotion. The pressure of his hand is light but reassuringly firm, acting as a physical guide that clears a path and shields you from the chaotic movement of strangers. He does it without a second thought, driven entirely by the deeply rooted urge to keep you close, secure and fully protected from the elements. 4. Remembering your specific boundaries and enforcing them softly. A man who has become deeply protective over you pays immense attention to the things that make you uncomfortable, even the minor details you only mention once. Whether it is an overbearing acquaintance, a specific topic of conversation that stresses you out, or a pushy salesperson, he keeps a meticulous mental file of your boundaries. The true protectiveness lies in how he subtly steps in to manage these situations before they escalate. He will smoothly redirect an intrusive conversation, politely decline an unwanted offer on your behalf, or create a natural distraction so you can exit an awkward interaction. He does not override your voice or try to fight your battles with loud aggression. Instead, he constructs a soft, invisible barrier around your peace of mind, ensuring your comfort is maintained without drawing unnecessary attention. 5. Angling his body toward you in group settings. In large group dynamics or busy social situations, his physical orientation shifts to prioritize your presence above everyone else. Even if he is actively engaged in a conversation across the room, his torso, shoulders, and feet will naturally angle toward you. This subtle body language technique creates a semi-enclosed, protective pocket of space specifically dedicated to the two of you. By positioning himself this way, he is blocking out potential distractions and ensuring that you always have an open, easy avenue to connect with him. It signals to the rest of the room that you are his primary focus and that he is completely available to you the moment you need him. It is a quiet, powerful declaration of alignment, showing that he is constantly maintaining a supportive and protective stance toward you, even amidst a crowd. 6. Keeping a mental tab on your battery percentage and commute. His protectiveness often manifests as a quiet logistics coordinator running in the background of his mind. He is the one who notices when your phone screen dips into the red, smoothly sliding a portable charger across the table without making a big deal out of it. When you are traveling or heading home late, he tracks your journey not out of a desire to control your movements, but from a genuine need to ensure you arrive safely. He memorizes your usual routes, checks the weather conditions, and waits up for that final text confirming you are indoors. If you forget to update him, a subtle edge of worry creeps into his voice. Because your physical safety is constantly tied to his peace of mind, it is a modern silent way of watching over you from afar. 7. The instinctive step in front of you. When surprised, this behavior is governed entirely by pure, unfiltered reflex rather than conscious thought. If a sudden loud noise shatters the quiet, a dog barks aggressively nearby, or someone rounds a corner too quickly, his body reacts instantly before his brain can even process the situation. He will automatically step into the space directly in front of you, placing his physical frame between you and the perceived danger. His arm might shoot out horizontally across your chest to hold you back, acting as a human seatbelt. It is a primal, evolutionary response designed to absorb any incoming impact or threat on your behalf. He doesn't think about the bravery behind it or seek praise afterward. His nervous system simply views your physical preservation as far more critical than his own. 8. Matching and shielding your walking pace. A man who is deeply protective of you will never leave you lagging behind or force you to hustle just to keep up with his longer strides. He instinctively calibrates his walking speed to match your exact pace, ensuring you move through the world side by side. Furthermore, when navigating busy sidewalks or crossing chaotic intersections, he positions his body on the side, where the highest volume of foot, traffic, or movement is coming from. He effectively acts as a moving breakwater, absorbing the bumps, rushes, and chaotic energy of the crowd so you can walk in peace. If he notices you are wearing uncomfortable shoes or carrying a heavy bag, his pace slows down even further, demonstrating a constant, silent attunement to your comfort and physical ease. 9. Tracking the mood of the people around you. His protective radar extends far beyond physical threats. He is incredibly perceptive about the emotional energy shifting in the room. When you are out together, he quietly monitors the behavior, tone, and vibes of the people interacting with you. If someone is being overly aggressive, subtly condescending, or making you uncomfortable with intrusive questions, he registers it immediately. You will notice his posture stiffen slightly and his attention lock onto the dynamic. He becomes hyper-aware of your facial expressions and body language, looking for the tiny, hidden cues that signal you are feeling distressed. He keeps a watchful eye on the social environment to ensure that no one crosses your boundaries or disrupts your peace, ready to pivot the situation instantly. 10. Quietly intervening. When you're feeling overwhelmed, when he senses that a social situation, a demanding family gathering, or a chaotic environment is starting to drain your energy, he steps in with seamless execution. Instead of making an announcement that draws unwanted attention to your fatigue, he engineers a smooth, natural exit strategy. He might suddenly remember an urgent errand you both need to run, politely interrupt a draining conversation to get you a drink, or suggest stepping outside for some fresh air. He takes the social burden entirely off your shoulders, acting as a buffer against the noise of the world. By managing the external pressure for you, he allows you to step back and breathe, ensuring that your mental and emotional well-being is heavily guarded from exhaustion. 11. Checking the locks and perimeter without being asked. This habit is a classic silent manifestation of his protective instinct. Before the two of you settle down for the evening, he will systematically walk through the house to Ensure every door is bolted and every window is secure. He does not do this to put on a performance or because you requested it. It is a routine embedded deeply into his subconscious mind. Even when staying at a hotel or visiting an unfamiliar place, he is the one who double-checks the latches and scopes out the safety of the perimeter. His mind cannot truly rest or drift off to sleep until he has verified that the immediate environment is completely secure. By silently taking on the responsibility of securing your physical space, he ensures you can let your guard down entirely and sleep in absolute peace. 12. A sudden loss of tolerance for people who dismiss you. You will know a man has become deeply protective when his patience instantly evaporates. The moment someone treats you poorly, if a waiter ignores your order, a colleague interrupts you mid-sentence, or a friend makes a passive-aggressive comment at your expense, his demeanor shifts instantly. While he might normally be a relaxed, easygoing guy, he becomes incredibly sharp and defensive on your behalf. His protective instinct will not allow him to sit idly by. While your voice is minimized or your worth is dismissed, he steps in to firmly redirect the focus back to you or directly addresses the disrespect with a cool, unyielding authority. He fiercely guards your dignity in public, making it abundantly clear to everyone around that you are deeply respected, valued, and completely backed by him. 13. The hyper-awareness of your physical comfort. His mind is constantly running a silent assessment of how you are physically coping with the environment. He is the first person to notice the slight shiver in your shoulders when the AC kicks in too high, prompting him to hand over his jacket before you even think to ask. He will notice the subtle shift in your posture if a chair is uncomfortable, or the way you squint against a harsh glare, moving to adjust the blinds or offer his sunglasses. If you are carrying a grocery bag, a purse, or a jacket, his hands will instinctively reach out to take the weight off you. This acute level of observation stems from a deeply rooted urge to shield you from even the smallest amounts of friction, physical discomfort, or stress in daily life. 14. He speaks in we and us when dealing with external stresses. The moment an outside problem, a difficult landlord, or a stressful conflict threatens your peace of mind, his language undergoes an immediate transformation. He completely stops viewing the issue as just your problem and instantly adopts a united front. When discussing the situation, he will naturally use phrases like, "We will handle this," or "Let us look at our options." By shifting his vocabulary, he is mentally and emotionally placing himself in the trenches right beside you. This linguistic shift is a powerful, protective mechanism designed to let you know that you never have to face life's pressures in isolation. He absorbs half the weight of your burdens automatically, standing squarely as your partner and protector against whatever chaotic situation the world throws your way. 15. The soft, lingering gaze after you safely subside into relaxation. This final sign is perhaps the most profound, occurring when he believes you are completely unaware of his attention. Once the day's chaos has ended, the doors are locked, and you have finally let your guard down. Whether you are reading a book, watching a movie, or falling asleep, he will just look at you, his expression soft, quiet, and deeply content. This lingering gaze is the moment his protective instincts finally shift into a state of rest. Seeing you completely safe, comfortable, and at ease in his presence is the ultimate reward for his subconscious mind. It is a silent moment of profound emotional connection where he takes in your peace, validating the quiet, fierce commitment he has made to preserve and protect your happiness at all costs.